and welcome to a very special edition of the Chuck and Ruck Show. I am your host, Ruck, and accompanying me as always, the ever wise one, Chuck. What's going on, brother?
Yo, 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 what's up, my boy?
What's going on with you? What in the world are you wearing over there?
Oh, are you talking about my hat? This is
Yeah.
the hat I came up with and the design I came up with in 2018 when I was
Ah,
running for state rep.
nice hat. Nice hat. Like
Pre-
it, like it.
Appreciate it, my
But
boy.
let's not waste any time tonight because as I said, tonight is a special edition of the Chuck and Russ show. As we all know, it is a training camp day. Today is the first day of training camp. So you know what that means. You know what that means, don't you?
Oh yeah, it's predictions time.
Oh yes, absolutely. Prediction time. Prediction time. So while we get that out the way, let's start off East, AFC East even. So so how we do this is we'll pick a day and we'll go by division. So randomly we'll start off with the AFC East. The how can I say this? The easiest of the bunch. So, with that being said, let's start off with the AFC East with the lowest of the lows in the New York Jets. By the way, all Jets fans out there, if I say something bad, don't hurt me. All right, New York Jets, which we know had a rough season last year, with rookie QB Zach Wilson. Didn't look too great with also rookie head coach Robert Saleh coming from San Francisco as defensive coordinator. But they had a good draft, a very strong draft in my personal opinion. Drafting Sauce Gardner, drafting Jermaine Johnson, and then also just put it this way, they had themselves a very solid draft. Would that potentially mean anything down the line? We shall remain so. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chuck. Did they also draft Garrett Wilson?
Oh yeah, that's a big move for them right there. You know, he definitely gonna help that team. You know, they like you said, they gonna need it, playing in this division. And Mr. Garrett Wilson, who I would have loved to have on our team, but you know, unfortunately, he playing with them boys out east, New York Jets.
Yeah, yeah. But unfortunately, they're a few years apart. But they have strong pieces to build off of. You still had Quentin Williams. You still have Carl Lawson. Adding Jermaine Johnson to that defense will only make it stronger. And like I said, you have Sauce Gardner now, so you have a foundation to build off of. But unfortunately, having said that, I don't know if that's going to rattle off anything. Chuck, having said that, give me your record prediction for them.
Um, actually, I got the Jets going 9-8. I don't, I don't think they're gonna be the
Wait,
worst.
wait, 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 wait. What?
I don't feel they're gonna be the worst team in the division this year. I mean, like you said, the addition Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson. I like the tight end from Cincinnati, CJ Uzma. Hopefully I'm saying his name right, but he got skills. I like the additions. Like right now, I'm I'm more confident that Mac Wilson is gonna lead his team in the more positive direction than Tua right now. That's just how I'm feeling from based on the end of last year and heading into camp this year. So I got them finishing at 9-8.
It's funny that you mentioned Tua because that's our next transition into Miami, the Miami Dolphins, which I'm not even gonna front with you. I think if there's any team that had a more busier off season, it was them. Yeah, there are a few that did, but Miami has had themselves a crazy off season in which they, outside of the fact that they added speed and more speed, adding Raheem Morstad, re-signing Mike Gesicki, re-signing Emmanuel Agba, they probably went after and got the big one and getting Tyreek Hill at quarterback. So they went out there and they did the damn thing. And then as an added bonus on top of that, you mentioned Tua. Um, if anything was to potentially go awry, they did sign Teddy Bridgewater to be his backup and everything. Um, I don't know. Call me crazy about Miami, but I feel as though that the Dolphins have a crazy amount of they have a crazy amount of talent. But the issue with them, it remains two things. Number one, the biggest question mark of even more so than Tua is their new head coach Mike McDaniel. We really don't know what to really expect from him. Yes, he came from San Francisco and the same coaching tree that's under Kyle Shanahan, which we pretty much know anyone that comes from that Shanahan tree can almost be successful. But having said that, that's still a question mark. And then obviously the biggest question mark is Tua, who can show signs of brilliance, but is heavily, heavily, heavily handcuffed because he doesn't really show arm strength. He's accurate, but just doesn't. It's like he's at times just scared to play quarterback at times. Doesn't go deep. Doesn't really just it's like he's just scared at times. Just always just checks down and everything. And when you have the weapons that you have, particularly Tyreek Hill, you can't be afraid. You have to go. You just have to. I just I feel Tua is going to hold that team back, and I feel that that team with the right quarterback, that could be a dangerous team. What say you, Chuck?
Yeah, I don't think Miami is going to be terrible this year. Like you said, the addition of Tyreek Hill, I don't think you can be terrible with the guy. He's arguably the most explosive player in the league. Um, their defense, they boosted their defense with Melvin Ingram. I think he definitely gonna help them, on that side of the ball. Um, they also boosted their offensive line with arms there. So, he should definitely help Tua, gain some more time to, look down the field and find Tyreek Hill open. But like you said, the biggest question, um, well, a big question is Tua, but like you said, but the biggest question to me is that coach. Like, how is he going to implement his system? And I just think it's going to take more than 1 year to really get a feel and get them, trending in the right direction to actually make some noise. So I got Miami going 8-9 this year. I think that'll definitely be a step in the right direction. And who knows, next year they may be competing for a wild card.
I think so too. I just think I think the issue though, like I said, like we both said, is it's Tua and McDaniel, but they need to trend in the right direction. Always in the right direction, it seems though, is New England and the New England Patriots. The team that never seems to the team that never seems to fall off track. Boy, you have to wonder when will their time be up. But let's see. Isn't it rather weird that we sit here and think a year ago, wonder what's happened? Like, did they just seem like did they get the worst out of everything with Mac Jones, and then Mac just surprised everyone last year by having a very quality rookie year? But I don't know. You can never really count that team. You can never really count out New England as long as Bill Belichick is breathing. He always just going to surprise everyone and just shock everyone with his ability. But I can't help but to look at what happened to them in that playoff game and how they just got completely outmanned in every way. It was embarrassing to look at what happened to them in that playoff game. It was bad, very bad. But I feel I can't help but to remember today during the presser that Belichick had today, and he basically was saying that Mac Jones made some very good strides this year compared to last year. That he was a totally different quarterback compared to last year. Which if there's one thing about Belichick that we know, he never wastes his words ever. Never do. So if that is the case, then maybe we'll see a whole new Mac Jones. That will be a good thing for them because while Mac Jones looked good last year, you could definitely tell he was another quarterback that was definitely shackled, and he'll have to make strides and play better. Which he'll have definitely new help. They did acquire Devontae Parker from Miami this offseason, so that would definitely help. And they got back their old tackle that came back from the Raiders and Trent Brown. So added new additions to the offensive line, added a new wide receiver. Um and they brought back Malcolm Butler too as well. So
Mm.
defensively they'll get upgrades. Offensively, they should be improved. So who knows? Is Mac Jones the Tom Brady 2.0?
Oh,
What say you, Chuck?
oh, hold
Hey, I'm
on.
not speaking blasphemy
I
here. I'm just saying.
I love what you said. How you said Belichick, kind of was handcuffing Mac Jones a little bit, because that was the fallout with him and Tom Brady. That he was kind of preventing Tom Brady from really reaching his potential. And this guy, multi-time Super Bowl MVP. But like you said, I like the additions of Devontae Parker. I like Malcolm Butler. Another underrated move was signing Jabril Peppers. I like him a lot. Ty Montgomery, but they are gonna miss J.C. Jackson, man. They gonna miss him in that secondary.
Yeah.
I think I like Bill Belichick, great defensive mind, and he'll figure out how to manipulate the system and put guys in the right place. But you know, I got Miami. I mean, excuse me, I got New England. I got them going 10-7.
I think 10-7 this too. I think they'll have a chance to get into potentially the wild card. I'm not sure if they'll actually get in there, but they'll fight for a chance to get in there. But if there's one thing I can definitely assure is that they will definitely I think we will definitely see the the next step in the growth of Mac Jones. I think we will definitely see that. I think we will see his growth and we will see him take that next step. Will we see him potentially becoming superstardom? Probably not yet. I think he's still a little bit of ways. I think he still needs like maybe another weapon for him to become that next step, but I think he's close to becoming there. He really showed some things in his rookie year that can really make him become to that next level. But I think he's a little bit away from there. But he's close though.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
long as you have Belichick there, he will be there.
yeah. Speaking of that quarterback, I like him. I like him more than Mac Jones and Tua. I definitely see the progression in him, and he could, if he have another stellar year, he may be up there with Joe Burrow. They may be comparing them. Next year, I would definitely. I wouldn't be surprised, especially if they're able to make the playoffs and win a game or two. I can definitely see them, anointing him, that next crop of great quarterbacks. But I
Yeah,
do like him more than Mac Jones, and I like him more than Tua.
yeah, Mac Jones will definitely be up there.
I mean, excuse me,
Speaking
I like
of,
him more than Zach Wilson. Sorry about
yeah,
that.
I got you. I know what you meant. Speaking of great quarterbacks, that leads us to the final team and the proverbial winner of this division, which we pretty much know, Buff Buffalo, the Buffalo Bills, who if it wasn't for a very crazy ending and a basically a blown defensive mishap and towards the end of that game, at the end of that game, Buffalo could very well have been in that Super Bowl, in my personal opinion. Um, it's no mistake, it's no secret that Josh Allen is the top five, possible top three quarterback in this league at this point, in which Mary Kay Cabot is probably having nightmares, wondering why we didn't draft that dude to begin with. But that's for another day. Buffalo had made strides to sit here and to add better their defense by adding Von Miller, which they needed it because I personally felt one of their biggest weaknesses that they had was not getting to the quarterback. Like I felt Buffalo really needed to sit here and add more ways to get pressures to the quarterback, which adding Von Miller is going to help with that. However, I think one thing that Buffalo really does need is a number two wideout. If you looked at one statistic that I saw, that Stephon Diggs, no, this is not a knock against Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is one of the best wideouts in the game of football. There is no doubt about it. But Stephon Diggs had 164 targets last year. The
Man.
next guy had 112. The next guy had 112. You kind of need balance. You need more balance for your wide receiver. It's basically a one man show out there at wide receiver for Buffalo. Now, maybe that was a difference now when Gabriel Davis, who sat here and showed out and put on 4 touchdown catches in that game. Maybe that was a difference there. Maybe he could be the emergence at another wide receiver. But I feel as though for Buffalo to really take that final step to be true Super Bowl contender, they need someone else to emerge outside of Stephon Diggs. Even though the guy can prove that he could be that guy, he could be that true number one. I think they need to take some of that load off of him and add another weapon outside of him. Even though they kind of have the talent, I think they need to look elsewhere. Like you have good talent around them. Dawson Knox, Gabriel Davis, and others. I think they need more weapons around him. Also, and personally for me, might want to sit here and invest into another running game. You might want to like get like a running like could build yourself a true running game behind it. Like even though Josh Allen is talented, I will be scaring I will be shitting bricks to find myself my running back is running over 750 yards a season. But that's just me anyway. I know he's built like a tank, but I wouldn't want my quarterback running that many yards for a season.
No, 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 no. That's a formula for disaster right there. I don't care, how accurate he is or what a great arm he has. You can't successfully put your quarterback in harm's way like that and expect any long-term success. But speaking of the rich get richer, wow, man. Von Miller, like, sheesh, how they pull that off, man? The dude's still an elite pass rusher. They had I think they had number one or number two pass defense already. And they
Yes.
add Von Miller, they are gonna be a scary team. Like really, like Super Bowl favorite, definitely a betting favorite. I only question I got, which is not really a big question, but kind of, you know, something that may end up being something bigger is the new offensive coordinator. You know, it might not be nothing because you got the same coach. You still got big Josh Allen whipping the ball around the field, but you know, that may be something that come and rears ugly head later in the season. Or, you know, but like I said, I still feel the Bills, they the cream of the crop. You know, they way ahead of every other team in that division. Um, I think when it's all said and done, I got them going probably 14-3, 13-4 at worst.
I'll go at minimal 13-4 for them. They'll win that division by ease. I think when it's all said and done, they could be. You could make a case that they'll probably get a first round bye in the division as well too. They'll get a first round bye. They may even, depends on, they could get home field throughout the entire AFC. Um, pending on opposition as well. But Buffalo is set up the way Buffalo is set up right now. They have a good chance to be very successful. However, another thing too that is a little concerning. They did lose Levi Wallace, their opposite corner, opposite side of Tre'Davious White. Now, that may not matter because their secondary is still one of the very best in the league. Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde, and Jordan Poyer. That's still one of the very best in the entire league has to offer. And like I said, adding Von Miller to already to all well, like I said, they don't really rush the passer like that particularly well, but their D line does play like it's supposed to. But it gets better now with someone that can sit all he ever does is rush the passer and Von Miller. And Oliver, their defensive tackle, is who is extremely good in his own right. Having someone like that just only gonna make him even better, basically. Like that defense has a chance to make that next leap up now. So I pretend that like I said, Buffalo is in the chance to be better now. But my like I said, there's still issues. Like I said, Levi Wallace not there. You really don't have a number two wide receiver now unless someone can really take that next step. I don't feel comfortable about Josh Allen basically running for 750 yards a season, even though he has the body built for it. I just don't want that. We've seen time and time. We've seen before what that could do to a quarterback, a la Cam Newton. Look what happened to him. All those years of basically sitting up here running all that, and look what ended up happening to him. He got destroyed. You don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen to Josh Allen, right?
No, 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 not at all. Now, I will say I do like the addition of you know, Jamison Crowder. I don't know if he gonna, like you said, elevate to be that number two, you know, next to Diggs, but I do like that. And you know, I'm looking from an MVP type season from Josh Allen. You know, I think this is best opportunity this year. You know, he gonna get the ball a lot because you know they're gonna create turnovers. So he gonna have a lot of opportunities, probably short fields, throw a lot of touchdowns. You know, he gonna have just a lot of opportunities. So I'm definitely looking, you know, for him to at least finish in the top 2 or 3 MVP, if not win it all. You know, he might be the betting favorite going into the season because, you know, I don't really see, you know, I don't want to jump the gun and go to the other divisions, but I don't really see a better, you know, opportunity based on the teams he has to play because, you know, he may go 6-0 in the division, you know, just off, you know, sheer talent. So, you know, he pick up a couple wins from, you know, from the conference or whatever. And I definitely think he gonna finish in our top 2, 3, you know, maybe even number one MVP.
I'll say my MVP pick towards another day. But I'll leave with this in that regard. He'll definitely be top three MVP consideration, maybe even top two, because you hit the nail on the head. The way the defense will have them set up, he'll be in a lot of scoring positions for them. Von Miller will make that team a hell of a lot better in that regard. But yes, and I also agree that team Buffalo will be 5-1, possibly 6-0 in that division, barring anything catastrophic or unforeseen. I think you and I had come to a foregone conclusion that Buffalo's winning is winning the AFC East. I think we've come to that conclusion, which is fairly safe to say. So yeah, Buffalo wins that division easily.
Now,
And
now, give me your final record predictions for the Jets, Dolphins, and the Patriots.
I don't really see how the Jets can really make anything particularly happen with them. I think the Jets could possibly go maybe probably 5-12, maybe 6-11. I think I think with you with the Patriots, I could see the Patriots probably going 9-8, probably 10-7. Um, I'm with you 8-9 for Miami, 13-4 Buffalo.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You know, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that Buffalo is gonna win that division, and everybody else just playing for second place, man.
Second place and potentially a top five pick in the draft, basically. Well, that's pretty much all the time that we have for this episode of Chuck and Ruck. Tune in next time as we as we load up for the AFC South. Um, who will come out of the top for that episode? Who will come out of the top for that one? Someone seems like they already know who.
Yeah, I did a little looking ahead. Now that division is gonna be a doozy. You know, I don't want to give anything away, but I'm just telling y'all need to stay tuned and check it out, man.
The AFC South will be the AFC South is going to be a little closer than people anticipated, but it's going to be a fight. Until next time, this is the Ruck. That is Chuck. Later.